This is Jason David Frank, the Green Ranger, and you are watching that hashtag show. Ooh-yah! Hey guys, this is Zi-O.
Yeah, Henshin Hangout. What's up, everybody? We're back.
We are.
We're talking about your favorite Henshin shows. We got Johnny here. Johnny, how you doing today, sir?
I am doing amazing. It's been a fun week.
I like this gold and black color scheme.
Thank
you
you,
got there.
thank you,
We're
thank
kind
you.
of matching a little bit.
Thank you. That we are.
A little black and
coordinated.
gold. You know, it's
we
good.
did well. Yeah, but I'm having a great week. I went and saw the Spider-Man to Spider-Verse.
Dude, I wanted to see it too today, but I had to run some errands. I'm so excited to watch it though.
You got to see it. Like I went and saw it Tuesday for that hashtag show, and I talked about the superhero news
You guys got
network.
to check it out over at Superhero News Network.
And then after that, I took my students to see it Friday.
Nice.
And legitimately, like, they all loved it. They had a great time. I like some people like crying and everything like that.
Yeah.
They were laughing, having a great time. So you got to see it. It's an amazing movie.
I'm
Highly recommend it. It's a great
I'm
film.
definitely gonna watch it. Well, you guys, thank you so much for joining us on your Saturday night. Sorry, we're a little early today because Ranger wrap up is gonna come right after this. But you guys, thank you so much for spending your Saturday with us.
Yep.
You could be anywhere else in the world today, but you're here with us.
And we appreciate that.
Thank you so much. First off, we got a little surprise. We got a little sponsorship for the show today.
We got a sponsor?
Yeah, it's a little company called Tippsy Sake.
Oh,
Yeah,
Tippsy
so
Sake.
Tippsy Sake is a monthly subscription box where you guys can get three little bottles. They're not little, but like 7-ounce bottles of sake. Yeah, so they're pretty cool. And you get every month it's different. And they have like a 3-month deal, a 1-month deal, and a 6-month deal. So if you guys use the code SAKEBOX on tipsysake.com, the link is in the description, you get 10% off your subscription box. So thank you to them for sending us these cool little sake bottles. Their main goal is to kind of like destroy the whole myth about sake is only used for sake bombs. You know?
Yeah.
It actually like goes well with a lot of different foods.
Oh, cool.
So
beans.
thank you guys for that. But
That's dope. Like, it looks cool, too. Like, I like the
Yeah.
whole thing about how there's, like, different varieties of sake.
Yeah.
There's got different bottles here, and it looks like they're from different brands. So it's cool. It's like a monthly, like, subscription fee where you get exposed, like you just said.
it's like Loot Crate but for adults.
Exactly.
Yeah, so I think
and you
it's
get
pretty
exposed to, like, all these different sakes and everything, so these different tastes and palates. That's cool.
I'm pretty excited. Excited. Okay, so who do we got in the chat here? We got Bat2C Dancer, J-Boss, Panda Blogs, Edward Sanchez, Ryan Earl Thomas. We also got Blackwing and Speedy999 and Johnny Marrero. You guys, thank you so much for
what's up,
joining
everybody?
us. And let's jump in. You want to start off with some Kamen Rider Zi-O?
Let's talk about Zi-O.
Zi-O. It was actually decent. I kind of liked it a little bit this week. Yeah, I mean, usually the second parts are a little better than the first part. I feel like they should just they should not condense it, but just show both of them every week.
Yeah.
2 episodes every week. It would be draining, but
It would just make things a lot easier to, like, do one condensed episode. But
no,
yeah.
because I mean, they when they divide it up, it's not even. Like my interest level is like.
No, I agree, because those first episodes are kind of rough to get to.
Yeah.
Because they're doing a lot of setup and there's like no payoff at the end.
Yeah.
And the second ones, they kind of wrap things up, and as you said, you get the payoff and everything.
Mm-hmm.
But they really don't know how to write like a nice, like strong, like first episode yet. Like
Yeah.
again, we talk about this new writing team,
Mm-hmm.
but yeah, like this episode, I did like a lot better for some different reasons.
Mm-hmm.
Like, well, just jumping straight into it. So, Decade is amazing. Like,
Decade
dude,
is
Decade
great.
is so beast.
Decade, like the addition of his character, is pretty cool. Mm-hmm. But like Justin was saying that he was a hero in Decade, so it's kind of weird that he's.
So, like, low key though, like I kind of give him like he is kind of like a hero here. I still feel, but he has an anti-hero feel because I remember Jess was telling us last week that in Decade the show, his whole thing was he was going to timelines and kind of like destroying their universes, destroying their worlds, and everything like that. And so here he's saying we're gonna destroy your world, but at the same time though, he's still helping them.
Mm-hmm.
He's like, oh, it wouldn't be a fair fight, but like honestly, from Decade, I'm getting more of a Vegeta type vibe.
Yeah.
Where he's like this
Oh!
anti-hero badass. Oh, we got a super chat.
Toku Kid, thank you so much. He says, Kamen Rider Decade, second arc boss, maybe.
So would he be the second arc boss? That would be dope. And does he say like boss is like the villain they have to defeat? That could be dope. But honestly, I think they will. But I'm hoping he becomes a member of the team. To be honest with you.
Really?
Yeah, I like him a lot. He's so cool, and not only is he like his character cool, but it's like his writer's cool too. Like his fights are so dope and on point. Like I liked it today when he changed the ghost, and I was like, this dude is legit.
Wasn't it really good? It wasn't really cool when they actually had 3 different ghosts on the board.
Yeah.
Yeah, you had another ghost.
The ghost, another
You
writer
had
ghost.
the real, or not the real, the real ghost. Well, through Decade. And then you had the ghost watch through Gates.
Exactly.
And Gates got his ass whooped.
Again, so as usual, Gates got Yamcha'd again.
Oh, man.
He is continuing getting Yamcha'd, and just, I feel so bad for Gates. Like, I'm just like, dude, get some respect. Like, I wish you could get some wins every once in a while.
No,
but,
I mean, do you think, eventually he has to. There's no way that he's just going to keep going this downward spiral.
I hope so, but we're getting deep into some episodes now. Like, we're getting, like, what is this, like, episode, 14 now and everything? So, like, by the way, we're getting to the end of we're getting close to our bet. So, when Justin gets back here for episode 16, if the uncle hasn't revealed himself to be evil, hot wings are coming Justin's way.
What do you think of the uncle so far?
He just seems goofy and fun.
Yeah.
Like he feels like that, like Ernie from like Power Rangers. Like this fun character who's there.
I think
he says some nuggets of wisdom,
too
stuff like
accommodating.
that.
He keeps feeding too many people.
That is true though.
Like he doesn't even like ask them who they really are. He just starts throwing food at them.
Exactly. People just show up and he's like, "Oh, here's a plate," but we're a watch shop.
Yeah.
I fix things. I'm not a chef.
Yeah, exactly. No one comes in. No one comes in to fix to get their watches or clocks or anything like that fixed. And then he's always like having people stay and feeding them. Where's he getting the money? Like he should be going bankrupt right now.
This is true. Especially with all that land in Japan, that huge house.
Yeah,
he can't afford that.
Definitely. Actually, like I lived in Japan for a few years. That's a really big house.
It is.
That's a really big house. The normal size house is probably like, I don't know. It goes up. It goes up definitely, but it's smaller. So he's definitely spending a lot of money on people he doesn't even know. But
that's just how good and generous the uncle is.
What did you?
That's why he won't be a villain.
What did you think of when the time jacker's like, oh, we need to go to the past, and it's like, oh, we're not getting that stupid time machine, and then he just opens up like.
Oh, that was so dope.
Yeah,
that was so dope. He just like, so are we doing that? He's like, oh, we have a shoe. He's like that's the only way. He's like, psh, for you peons, and he just like waves his hand and walks through a portal. I'm like, why is he so legit? Why is Decade so dope?
Like maybe we haven't been enjoying the show because there haven't been like legit writer villains. Like it's always been like a one-off type deal. This is actually the first time that we have a antagonist who's sticking around for a while, and he's not like driven by like being hypnotized or being forced to do. He's doing all this stuff on his own. Like if you think back to the last season, we had Gator, or what's his name? We had Crocodile.
Oh yeah,
Crocodile was a villain too. We had a few
Grease
like
for a while,
writers,
everything like that. Yeah.
So I mean, maybe that's we'll fix it. Maybe getting
more writers to come in.
I would, yeah. That's this is really cool. Oh wait, time out before we go to this. We got a super chat from Bat2C Dancer.
Thank you,
Bat2C. I will. Intrigued to see Zi-O versus Decade. Definitely. I am very intrigued.
No, same. And honestly, like, I agree with you. I think, like, the introduction of more writers kind of just makes the show more exciting. And Decade is just such a cool, like, writer, but he's also a great actor as well.
Yeah.
Like, when he's acting, like, dude, it's like, because, this is a novice cast. It's like, it's weird. It's kind of like going, like, to basketball, like some other sport. It's like when you bring, like, a veteran player onto a team, and all of a sudden the team gets better because they're learning from this veteran's moves.
It's kind of like Andre Iguodala.
Exactly. Coming to the Golden State Warriors.
Exactly. Like, where he's not, like, a superstar, but he kind of, like, elevates everybody else around him.
Exactly, and that's what's happening because he's just like he's got this presence. Like when he's acting or with the time jackers and everything like that, he's smooth and calculated. When he's in the suit fighting, he's got these great fight scenes. And honestly, and we got another super chat.
Toku Kid says Decade's MO is act like bad guy, but actually good,
which makes him a badass. Which he's kind of like Vegeta.
You think? Last episode we had Waz kind of like align himself with the time jackers. You think that's working out for him?
Not so much. I mean, so Blackwing dropped me a little hint today, so a little bit spoilers. I believe it was Blackwing. He sent me a Twitter message like earlier this week, and it showed me a picture of Waz later on when he's going to become a writer and everything.
Yeah, I mean, that was anticipated. That was definitely anticipated.
And based upon like how it is today, because in this last episode, we didn't really see Waz with the time jackers that much. He's supposed to be aligned with them, but
I think he's realizing this isn't really working out.
But I will say this though, again, I'm sorry, I'm praising Decade a lot because a lot of my favorite parts of this episode dealt with Decade. Like I love that whole thing where Waz comes up and like, and he has done it again.
Yeah, he's
my
like,
lord, blah blah, and then he's like,
who are you talking to?
Exactly. I was just like, yes. And then when he goes to another form, he's like, no, no more of that. No more of that. I was like, too, I'm liking Decade.
Like we are praising Decade, but I actually enjoyed the Ghost team too. They're kind of fun.
I agree with you.
His lightheartedness, and just like his demeanor was just fun.
Yeah, and I like their suits too,
dude. Yes,
dude. Like when they transform, like you guys have jackets and you have like hoodies and everything.
Yeah.
I'm like, you guys look so gangsters, like so dope.
I kind of want to go back and watch
Ghost
Decade
now.
and Ghost.
Yes. And we got another super chat.
Thank you. Another fun moment was Decade versus Captain Marvelous. What?
Ooh.
Oh, is that in like a movie? Maybe.
We
gotta check that out.
Maybe we gotta go back. Yo, so drop info in the chat because again, you guys know we love Captain Marvelous.
Yeah, definitely.
So yeah, I'll definitely want to check that out.
One person earlier said that Decade is Zi-O.
Really?
Or that could be Zi-O. What do you think about that?
I hope not. I mean, it'll be cool.
We did have a preview where he's gonna go into the future.
Exactly.
So finally, like this is finally like
it's starting to build up now.
No, it's finally like they're finally making decisions that kind of make sense.
Exactly.
As far as like if you want to see what happens in the future, pretty much all of it is just like flashbacks. But now we're actually going to go forward in the future and kind of like explore it.
Yeah, which is interesting because I think what I'm starting to learn right now is that, again, I'm loving Decade and I still have my issues with the show, especially with regards to time travel, because a lot of the time travel stuff here still hasn't been explained. Like they're really putting themselves in like these like time loops and everything like that don't make any sense.
Yeah.
But I'm only starting to understand now because after we watch like Potter vs. Lupin, it feels like Sentai and Kamen Rider shows takes about like episode 16 or 17 to really get their gears going and start getting the motor running with everything.
I mean, a little bit. I think it's probably different for each show, but I think.
Well, the only reason why I'm saying that is because like for Potter vs. Lupin, again, started off with some potential. Then it kind of went to like this repetitive nature, and around 16 or 17, that's when the oil came into play. Yeah. And then after that episode started to get better, and then it still took a while to like about episode like 30 or so, 30 something for it to get like really going. For I was like enjoying watching Potter vs. Lupin every week, and then for this one, like again, now they're around episode 16. I'm like, I'm hoping they're going to do the exact same thing. Yeah. It's going to start getting better every week. But I will say this though, props to Build, because when we watched Build, and we had a lot of homages to Build today. They were fighting the giant robots.
Yeah,
the
giant robot's the one that actually kicked the time.
Yeah, that was so cool.
It was the build mode.
It was the build and the cross-section mode. It was Banjo's mode.
Yeah.
And I was watching this. I was thinking about that. I was like, Build was one of the few series where I was like, episode 2 was like, all right, I'm in. This show is good. This is me. So it was one of the few shows. It got better as it went along. Yeah. But from the get-go, it just started off really strong.
Another thing that kind of shook things up as far as like Time Jackers versus Sugo and his team is that Decade left his changer. Oh, that's a different show. Decade left his changer, where.
Wrong show. Sorry about that.
There you go. Oh, I like this. Actually, I think this was probably one of the first Kamen Rider shows I watched in Japan. The Dragon one. Dragon
really?
Knight, yeah.
Oh, nice.
Dude, it was so cool. They had like this really cool dragon like wrist thing. Risk changer. It was cool.
Dude, I saw that when he came in blasting the fire and everything. It was so cool. And I love how he uses his sword here. When he was like Ghost, he used a sword, but then he's just Decade was such a badass. He just tosses it aside. I'm like, why are you so cool? Why are you so cool?
And then he left Gates his little watch just because to shake things up a bit.
Exactly, which is like, again, kind of go to like Toku Kid's point. Is like, is he a good guy who just acts like a bad guy type deal who's really helping them, or is he a bad guy who wants just a better fight, kind of like Cell from like Dragon Ball Z or something like that?
Either way, I think it's gonna make the show interesting.
It is. It's a drastic improvement.
Sticks around for a bit. Yeah. These two writers that they threw into this little 2-episode arc were actually one of my favorites as far as like the writers that they've thrown in. Like, I mean, of course, Kamen Rider Build, that first 2 episodes, that was cool. But I think I liked having Ghost and Decade in this episode. It really threw things up. Oh, this is a cool scene where both Ghosts, like, kick Gates'
give him
butt.
the kick. Oh, my
Yeah, they kick his butt, and then he just kind of, like, destroys his... he's like, oh, they told me that you got to have this to destroy Ghost. I don't know. I thought even the another Ghost suit was cool looking. I told you it looked like... AJ Styles a little bit.
Yeah, exactly. And I was like Pumpkinhead last week and everything like that. Again, all in all, I really like this episode. Decade really carried it really strong for me.
So what would you rate this episode?
Out of 5 changers?
Out of 5 changers.
Okay. My only complaint is, and then they did a good job, like, Kamen Rider Zi-O was a little bit more like proactive in trying to come up with a plan to get his body back, everything like that. Granted, the time travel stuff didn't make as much sense to me, but it was a smart plan though by just saving the dad, but saving the brother. That way you can like stop him from being another rider.
Yeah,
and
then you could kill him, or you could
exactly
kill,
you defeat him and everything. Which I was like, okay, that's smart. This makes sense now. And so all in all, I was like, you know what? A solid 3.5.
Yeah. You know, actually, I'm going to match you in that.
Yeah.
3 or 3.5.
Yeah. So again, so everybody in the chat, give us your rating for this episode.
Give us your rating.
Like all in all, it was like really cool. It was fun. I enjoyed it. Again, it just like kept my interest and everything like that. So, and again, Decade is on point. So I'm enjoying
I
Decade.
kind of want to dress like Decade. You know, that black suit. You know, just look all suave.
And just like walk around,
exactly.
have a camera, take pictures of people and everything.
Exactly.
It was cool.
Yeah, it was cool. Even him kind of like antagonizing Sugo by going to his house and eating his food.
But he was so nice to his dad. He was like, food was amazing. Thank you so much. I was like, why are you so cool? Why are you so cool, Decade?
So let's go to the chat to see what they rated. Speedy999 says 3 out of 5 drivers. Blackwing 4.5 out of 5 because Decade's armor is dope. The sword is kind of a hay saber.
It's called the Hay Saber. That's a nice name.
That's dope. Let's see. Layla says didn't watch it. Too busy celebrating 17th. Happy birthday again, Layla. On Tuesday.
Happy early birthday. Oh, we won't see you on Tuesday, but happy early birthday, Layla. Hope you have a great time.
Oh, no, her birthday was last Tuesday.
Oh, it was last Tuesday. Oh, happy belated birthday.
Bat2C 4.8 out of 5. Wow, that's really good. Jared Hodges 3 out of 5. Toku 5 out of 5. Decade. J Boss 4.3. Champion 4.5. And Heal Life 3 out of 5. So everybody's pretty much on the same page.
And I think everyone's like saying some of the same thing. Is like Decade is really cool.
Yeah,
like he's a strong antagonist that's challenge for Sugo and the rest of the team and everything like that. He elevates like the acting on the show. He helps like kind of like improve it in all areas.
Yeah. So but let's get into Loop Hat, which is coming to an end. We got a few more episodes in Loop Hat.
This is true.
Yeah, but it's actually getting pretty good. It was pretty good this week. The whole dynamic as far as
but it's weird though because as I was trying to watch Loop Hat, all these trailers kept popping up.
Yeah,
like I was trying to watch it on the website or whatever, and all these trailers for these movies coming out this week. Cause like I forget what's the big movie that comes out this week.
The big movie that comes out this week?
Yeah, Friday has John Cena in it.
Oh, Bumblebee.
Oh yeah, Bumblebee. Oh yeah, I should talk about my Bumblebees.
What?
It's time for Johnny Dope Kicks.
Oh my god.
Yeah! So check it out. This week I have something special for everybody.
Is that what you did? So there really wasn't any ads.
So this week I'm talking about these are the Jordan 13 Carmelo.
There wasn't
Anthony's.
any ads. He's like, there's no American ads
dope.
on these shows.
So I name them my Bumblebees because they're super awesome.
Time out.
They got
super
got a super chat.
Have you heard of Tokusatsu Ga show coming? I don't know what that is. Please explain it to us.
Yeah, explain it to. I haven't heard about that, but I want to hear about it, though. Sounds dope. Like my kicks.
Oh my
so
god.
Back to Johnny Dope Kicks. So here's the thing. So these shoes are really
Black
awesome.
Queen's like, no, not this again.
So here we can go ahead. You can pick this up at the Nike outlet right now. And the Nike outlet is actually having a really dope sale where everything's 30% off.
Why are you promoting Nike? We're not sponsored by Nike. Nike, if you do want
because they make great products. And so again, Jordan Brand has these there at the outlet. They're really great. They're really comfortable. And like I said, Bumblebee's coming out this Friday, which I'm actually excited for.
All right, look, let's get back to the show, huh?
Gotcha. So don't forget, go see Bumblebee in theaters this Friday. It's really dope, and I've seen some trailers for it. I'm excited.
There was no ads on this watching Henshin.
Johnny Dope Kicks.
Shut up. Okay, going back to the show, we meet our Gangler of the week, and he's missing his thing.
His collection piece.
Yeah. So I mean that's pretty cool, but I think the most interesting thing about this is we got the return. Oh, we never met him before, but the return of like he wasn't the Green Ranger, but the guy before. The Green Ranger, yeah.
Before the Green Power Ranger, yeah. So this guy comes in and everything like that. And he comes in.
I thought that was pretty cool.
It was interesting, and like I thought it was gonna be an episode centered around the Green Power Ranger. It was like, oh, I feel inferior to this guy, blah blah.
Yeah, I thought that too. I definitely thought that too.
Yeah, when I was like, really, we're doing this now. We only got like 7 episodes left, but
he was on a special mission.
Yeah, and he was investigating a traitor, and he was investigating Noel.
Honestly, like. I know Noel is like a flip flop and everything, but I never thought that they'd play that card, and I honestly don't believe it. Like there's something going on. I think that he was placed in these certain situations where it makes it look bad, but it's not necessarily what it's supposed to be.
No, I totally agree. Like as I was watching this episode, it was kind of like obvious. It was like, oh, Noel's being set up by this old guy or whatever, and it was weird. And they dropped little clues, to let us know that this might not be the real guy. For example, like remember where Power Ranger Pink's like, oh, I thought you didn't like sweets.
Yeah.
And then she looked at him. He's like sipping the coffee or whatever. She's like, oh,
like,
that might not be him.
What gave
like
you
something's
that
going
idea?
on. Yeah.
No, definitely. Like this guy is shady. He's super shady.
He is.
He's super shady.
But at the same time,
shady.
though, he's advancing the plot with Noelle a lot, which I was kind of enjoying because we've had all these theories about Noelle. Like what is Noelle's goal? Who's he trying to get back? And then actually, I think Layla said this as well way back when. She said Noelle's a collection piece.
You think Noelle's a collection?
Well, Layla
piece?
gave us that theory way back when, and so I was watching this episode, and they were like, "Noelle's not human." I was like, "Oh crap!"
Oh yeah, and then
Goody's
Goody's like, "Oh, you guys didn't know?"
Exactly,
Yeah.
and it was like, "Wait, what?"
Yeah.
And so like all of a sudden, it's like all this mystery surrounding Noelle. Where it's like, "Okay, what's happening with her right now?"
Yeah. There's even like a little we don't have a picture of it, but there's a little clip on the teaser where you see the master thief talking to a little kid.
Oh, we got a flashback scene. Yeah.
So that might be Noelle. I don't know.
Or it could be the butler, or it could be like, or again, it could be a lot of people though. Because if Noelle's not human, then he wouldn't be a kid. But there's a lot of mystery there. Was like, okay, what's going to happen with this?
And then this is why Kiichiro is kind of torn when he's facing him, because he's like, oh man, they figured out my greatest collection piece.
Oh my gosh.
My greatest collection piece is getting revealed.
Oh my gosh, you and this Kichiro's the Great Lupin.
I think
is the
this
Master
is-
Lupin, which would be hilarious and dope if you're right. But I will say this though, Kichiro, I love the acting from Kichiro this episode. How he was torn about going after Noelle. Like everyone else races after him, he just stands there, and because they had that moment about 10 episodes ago where they faced off.
Straight up took his gun out of his hand though.
Yeah, because he was torn and he was just sitting there like, wait, no, not Noelle. Like, I trusted him. Like, no, it can't be Noelle. And
He finally trusts him. After that, was it a few episodes, that badass, oh, look at the look on his face. Where he's like, oh, man,
exactly.
I'm totally screwed.
What was he's like,
There's
I'm being
no way to
set
get
up
out
right
of this,
now, and I have to prove myself, but I can't prove it right here,
Because
right
the
now.
Gangler gave him, like, a big hug. Like,
Dude, by the way, I love this Gangler in this episode. This Gangler was so much fun.
Yeah.
Like, literally, every time he showed up, I was just, like, smiling. I was like, I like this Gangler. I wish he was, like, their comic sidekick.
For you guys in the chat, you Super Sentai fans, let us know what that collection piece is, what series that's from. Because, every collection piece is...
from a different, like,
series.
Yeah, exactly, yeah. So I was loving, I love that, like, he was cracking jokes. I love when he was bouncing around to get away.
Yeah.
He was just, and he was like, Noelle's my friend. He's so nice to me. And I was like, I like this guy.
You know another interesting thing about this episode, who took a back seat in this episode?
Who?
The thieves.
Yeah.
The thieves took a little bit of a backseat in this episode. I mean, the fight scenes, yeah, but there wasn't much like dialogue or anything going on.
Or story advancing them.
Yeah.
No, I agree with you. It was actually a nice change of pace.
Yeah.
For them to do a police centric episode, which I was enjoying a lot, and then having the thieves there is like a nice balance because I liked when they did get upset and when they thought Noelle like had betrayed them as well.
Yeah.
If they start being the mess of the Gangler and the Zord, like I had no idea the Zord had that many capabilities. I was like, this thing could do all this stuff.
I think that Zord is actually my favorite combination. The one with the little big hand and I think that's my favorite combination.
No, I enjoyed it a lot. It was really fun, like to see him like beat this guy up like this way and use all those different weapons.
Yeah, and then pretty much Green and Pink just kind of like blew him away by themselves without flinching.
Yeah, pretty much.
Like he was such an easy you realize that the Gangler's he's not like the focal point of this episode. He's kind of just like a pawn. But another cool thing that I enjoyed about this episode was the scenes of the parkour scenes.
Oh, with Noelle, yeah.
Dude, like it's a drone. It's either a drone or some kind of like crane where it's kind of just filming over him. And like I was talking to Daniel Nagami off camera before the show, I was trying to figure out, or we were both trying to figure out, if he was using a stunt double. And I'd pause it. I'd literally pause it. He's doing majority of his stunts.
You think so?
Yeah, like if you pause it, he's doing majority of his stunts.
Way to go,
So
Noelle.
yeah, so to the act, that's pretty badass to the actor that he's actually like just because I've seen old Jackie Chan movies. I've seen some bloopers where Jackie Chan's breaking his ankle. That's Noelle right there. That's Noelle. I don't know if they have like a pad. They definitely have a pad on the bottom, but that's badass.
It looks cool. Like
Yeah.
no, I'll pause to say too. Like when he was doing it, I was checking out his shoes. Which
Yeah,
looked
I think those
amazing.
are the Nike Lunar Glides.
They might be.
Yeah,
They might be.
yeah.
I was looking at like those look awesome.
Great ankle support for parkour and.
I actually thought those might be the Ultra Boost.
Yeah.
Adidas Ultra Boost.
This scene is probably the saddest one because it's kind of like, what's that movie with Keanu Reeves? It's kind of like Point Break.
Oh, actually, I was comparing it to Fast and Furious, the first one.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, but no, same thing. I was thinking about both movies today.
That scene where he's kind of conflicted. He's like, oh, what do I do? What do I do?
Exactly.
but it was definitely like that. And I think like the scene at the end where it starts raining on the car.
Oh, that was
it's
so
like,
deep.
Oh my god!
I was like, you guys are going for the dramatics this episode.
No, exactly. The only thing that was missing too, like I would have loved to see what Kyrie's reaction to the whole, like his real reaction to the whole thing is, like him actually seeing Noel working with the Ganglers.
Yeah.
But the Ganglers revealed to him that he's not human, so that was their whole thing.
Mm-hmm.
Their whole thing is that he's not human. With the Patrangers, it's that he's a spy.
Yeah.
So I thought that was pretty cool. I thought that was really cool.
And honestly, again, it builds up a lot of mystery that we're going to get some good answers to next episode. And it still had a nice like ending to it. And it was cool because like it's interesting. We just talked about Bada Bing Bada Boom, Zi-O, and Zi-O has a problem doing 2-parters to keep you interested. Mm-hmm. But this like Lupin episode right here kept us interested for
I'm
parts
going to be
1
so
and
mad if the next
part 2.
episode. Actually, the next episode.
Fingers crossed for part 2.
Yeah, the next episode looks like a continuation of this. So I was going to be mad if the next episode was a filler or whatever. But the next episode continues.
No, and it looks amazing. Like again, as I was watching, like little scenes they showed, it was like I'm looking forward to next week's episode. We're definitely going to get more story. We're like you said, we're going to get the Master Lupin showing up and everything like that. So all in all, I'm just like, you know what, they're finishing strong.
For like any predictions as far as like what you anticipate is going to happen going forward.
Well, I think Noel's going to clear himself. We're going to find out that that dude from France, they're always like a gangler in disguise or something like that. I think we're also going to discover like Lupin's, like Noel's backstory, and again, we're going to figure out like what his motivation is. And I'm low key leaning towards him being a collection piece.
You know what? That makes sense. If he's not human, that only makes sense. Maybe he's also a gangler. I don't know. That could be a possibility.
Or reformed gangler or something like that.
Like that. It's like a reformed gangler. But I think his story has been the biggest mystery because he's not really revealing much. I mean, we got when he had the fight with Kiichiro, where he was kind of like, "Oh, I'm doing," like he had some sort of motivation.
Yeah,
I want to learn that. I'm still under the impression that Kiichiro is the Grand Lupin. But who knows?
I don't know. But it's weird because a lot of things, for a long time, I thought they were training Lupin in Red to be the next Grand Thief and everything like that. But they've kind of slowed down advancing.
Remember you had anticipated, he's going in this dark path.
Exactly.
But they kind of like eased off the
like
gas a little bit.
But he might become the new head boss gangler and everything like that. Yeah. But they kind of like turned that around, and now that they're...
It's like they heard you, like, nope, that's not the theory.
Exactly. No, change the scene, change everything now. Yeah. Johnny was right, too close.
Johnny's getting too close.
But it's interesting, though, because we have about, 8 episodes left?
So Blackwing says that he hopes that Lupat is 51 episodes. Because there were some little rumors that it was going to go to 51.
I figured because again, like the longest running Sentai series like was a little bit over that, so I was like, yeah, they'll probably hit about 51.
Yeah, and it has to last up until 2019. So
yeah.
I honestly, this was a really good episode.
It was.
I really enjoyed this episode. I think it's going to be interesting to see where they go with it. But yeah, I really like this episode. If you were to rate it, what would you rate it?
Okay, if I would give this out of 7 Lupin Changers, out of 7, I would have to give this. Man, this is a good episode because even the Zord battle was really good.
Yeah, I don't like when they go to that because it feels kind of like they're just dialing it in.
Man, and there was like everything was earned. All right, you know what? I give it anything less than this, I feel like it's a slap in the face. As with all the stun work they did, Noel stepping up, right. The acting.
We'll do it at the same time. Ready? 1, 2, 3,
7. Oh!
Oh, really?
I had to give it a 7. I thought about a 6, but I was like, I gotta give it a 7. Like, it really stepped up for me.
Oh, yeah, well, yes, that's awesome. You guys in the chat, let us know what you guys rated the video, or rated the show. You gave it a perfect 7.
I gave it a 7. Like, honestly, here's the thing. The Zord fight was amazing because usually we fast forward through Zord fights. So it's like, the Zord fight was really good. It was balanced. It gave me the police in a serious arc. Noel was doing that awesome stunt work. There was awesome fight scenes. The gangler was hilarious. All in all, I'm just like, yeah, I give it a 7.
Yeah,
it was a great episode.
Yeah, I really like this episode. I love the Zord fight. I love everything. I honestly can't wait to see how they go about finishing off the series. But so far, so good. Like it's really hitting all the marks that it wants, and I think that it's gonna end pretty good. I think it's gonna end decently, and I can't wait to see what else they bring to the show.
Nice.
So, Johnny, where can we find you on social media?
You can find me at JohnnyP313 on Instagram, Twitter, and in my Gumroad store on where you can find my comic books and everything like that. Jez, where can we find you on social media?
You can find me on all social media at Jezzer Zeus, but You guys stick around at 8:15. We have a special Ranger wrap-up show
with a special guest.
So it's gonna be cool. It's gonna if you guys are gonna love it. You guys are gonna love it.
And shout out to our supporters in this episode. Shout out to Bad Tuesday Night.
Yeah.
And shout out to Toku Kid for the super chats.
Thank you
because
so
you help
much,
us
you
keep the
guys.
show going. You help us again do the production, all the cool things behind the scenes. So thank you again for all your support.
Thank you so much, you guys. Thank you for joining us. Thank you for spending your Saturday night with us. You could literally be doing anything else, but you're here hanging out with us.
Before we leave though,
What's
and
up?
we appreciate that.
Yeah.
We forgot to read their scores.
Oh, let's see what their scores is. Sorry about that.
All right, so
Go for it.
Panda Laws gave it a 7 out of 7 as well.
Boom.
J-Boss gave it a 3.1.
It's
Rose
missing
Ortiz gave it 6.5 out of 7. By the way, Rose, I like that picture. Layla gave it 6.5 out of 7.
Nice.
Jared also gave it a 7. Toku gave it a 0.7, dropped this show many episodes ago.
Toku, man, you're messing me up.
The
bro.
Bad Tuesday Dancer gave it 6 out of 7. Blackwing said this episode gets a 5 out of 7. Not bad, but I feel like this should have been brought up like episode 30. Again, I agree.
Yeah, Johnny Morero's 7 out of 7.
Gavin West gives it a 6 out of 7. So, no, this is a positive episode.
There's only one
everybody.
person here that disagrees with us. It's Toku Kid. He dropped the show. He dropped the show a long time ago. Well, like we said, you guys, thank you so much for joining us. We'll be back next Saturday. You're back with me next Saturday?
Yes, I will be, yeah.
Yeah, so we're going to finish off this series. Thank you guys for joining us. Be sure to like, comment, subscribe to keep up to date with everything trending
And geek pop culture.
Peace!